It's J. Kim from the Oregon Surf Perch Fishing Club back at Wade Creek. It is Tuesday, May 9th at 7:40 a.m. It's 2 hours before low tide. Low tide is really low today. It's a minus 1.4. And right now, tide height's around 1 foot. So I'm just looking at the south and still a lot of rocks there. So I'm just gonna head to the north. When I was coming down, I was scouting out the beach. And there's a trough here, but there's a pretty decent sandbar that I see a lot of crashing waves going to. So swell energy is about 500 today. Swell height's about 4.5 to 5 feet. It's like 49 degrees. Down here, there's no breeze. So, man, it's really pleasant right here. In terms of catching conditions, there's a lot of crashing waves, especially where the sandbar is. But I don't know if you can see it, but the water's crashing right here, and there's a trough, and then you can see some shiny patches there, light shiny patches. That's where the sandbar is. So that's where I'm heading. It's right next to the trees, so I'm crossing my fingers. But man, what a gorgeous day. I'm only here for a little over an hour. I'm just on my way to shop. Just wanted to stop by, and it's kind of a time of convenience for me. How low tide is that there's the cliff where the trees are, and you can see how much beach is exposed. And again, I'm heading out to that sandbar, which is even exposed more, and the tide's going down about another 2 feet. So it's going to be pretty low today. So I'm guessing you're going to be way out there by the time low tide hits at 9:40. I'm not going to be here, but just interesting to see the beach when it's really low tide. So here's the trough I'm talking about. And it's got pretty decent wave action in the trough. This is probably the most wave action I've seen in the trough, but I'm still gonna head out to the sandbar. Okay, still haven't taken my first cast, still walking. Okay, so I've been here now 30 minutes. So I'm guessing I fished about 2/3 of the sandbar now. Got in about 8 or 9 casts, and I've had zero action. And catch conditions actually look pretty good here. The best waves are far out, but there's a lot of decent crashing waves close by. So just like before, I'm just kind of surprised I'm not getting at least a bite even from silvers, but it's been this way I think the last 2 or 3 times I've tried the sandbar. So fishing conditions are awesome though. It's probably like 50 degrees now. There's no wind, blue skies, the sun came out. It's a little overcast, but overall, I mean, what an awesome day to be standing in the ocean. So it kind of offsets no action, but I still like to get a bite. So I'll probably try for about another 30 minutes, and if no action, then I'm just gonna go shopping. So with tide going out, like I said, it's a pretty low tide today at minus 1.4, so it's dropping like a foot an hour. So just in the half an hour I've been here, it's dropped a half a foot, and wave conditions have changed. The better waves are further out now, even further, and the closer waves actually are smaller and they're not as successive. So again, it's just interesting how things change as you wait around and then see the tide change. I had my first bite, and it's 8:20, so 35 minutes, and it was just a real few rapid taps. Couldn't tell if it was silver or red tail though, but at least I got a bite finally. So I'm gonna switch to a 4-ounce weight for my last couple of casts, and I always use a snap swivel for my weight so I can change them out quickly. But by using a 4-ounce, I'm gonna try and get some further casting distance to see if that helps. But the advantage of using a snap swivel is that you can change weights quickly just like that. The disadvantages is you got to pay for more hardware, and you got to tie it on. So, you know, it's all personal preference. All right, trying 4 ounces. Okay, so I've been here an hour and 10 minutes now. Other than that one bite on what, minute 35, I've had zero action. I'm guessing 15 to 16 casts. So this is like the 3rd time I think, or 4th time I've been on the sandbar where I've had very little luck. So I think next time I come, I'm gonna head south. So just walking my way back around the trough, I think I'm going to take a few casts right next to where the creek is and then head out and go shopping. So what's interesting is that this was all underwater when I first came, and you can still see some water draining here, but when I first came here, this thing was much deeper and you couldn't cross it. You had to walk all around it. So again, just more structure, low tide that you can see. And if you come back at high tide, you know, or medium tide, again, this is all accessible. So anyway, just interesting to see what the beach looks like at low tide. At the creek, and it looks kind of hopeless to me because it's so shallow here that the waves are way out there. I'm probably fishing in maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of water right now. There is a sandbar over there, but I don't feel like walking all the way around. So I think next time I'm going to try the south next time I come. But I'm only going to try 1 or 2 casts here because I don't think there's any fish in this area. The thing that's interesting as I'm walking out is the creek has really spread out and it's really shallow. I don't think I've ever seen it in this condition because usually it's a single channel that comes down. So again, this is interesting how the beach changes as conditions change, but I'm guessing sand's starting to move around. And man, I can't believe how many rocks are exposed on the south now. But come at the wrong tide, you're going to lose a lot of rigs. There's a lot more rocks exposed than I thought. But that sandbar actually looks pretty inviting. Okay, anyway, that's it. So calling it quits. Hour and 20 minutes. I'm guessing about 16 to 18 casts, somewhere in there. And other than 1 small bite, I was totally skunked. So man, weight has been slow for me for quite a while now, but I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll be back a couple more times this week. But man, what a beautiful fishing day. Conditions were awesome, and catch conditions actually were really good when I first got here, but they did decline after about a half an hour to 40 minutes as the tide was going out. I think next time I'm going to try the south. Okay, that's it for today, and hopefully when I come back I'll do much better. Couldn't be much hard to do worse. That's it for today.